The skeleton of the head is termed as the skull. The skull consists of 22 bones, okay, which are tightly attached to one another by means of sutures. These are fibrous joint, they are immobile, they anchor the other bones of the skull to one another. 22 bones of the skulls are except mandible. The mandible is the only bone of the entire skull which can move freely by temporomandibular joint. It will be here in the temporal fossa for the mandible. The cranial skeleton is divided into two skeleton. This is a facial skeleton and this is the cranial skeleton. The cranial skeleton consists of skull cap, the cranial cavity, which protects the brain. So therefore called as neurocranium, whereas the facial skeleton covers the visceral organs like the oral cavity, nasal cavity, pharynx. So therefore this is called as Sphlacnocranium. Sphlacno means viscera. So it is protecting all the visceras, therefore called as Sphlacnocranium. So the division of skull into neurocranium and Sphlacnocranium. And if anybody asks you a question, how many bones are there in the skull? Please tell, without mandible it is 22 bones, and some authors include mandible as a part of cranium. So that time you can tell 23 bones, including mandible. The function of this skull, it provides protection for the most important organ in the body, that is the brain. And its covering is called as meninges, which further enhances the protection. Also, it accommodates additional sense organs like the organ of vision, the eyeball in the orbit, the organ of hearing and equilibrium inside this pittrous part of temporal bone, that is inner ear or the bony labyrinth, the organ of smell in the roof of the nasal cavity, that is olfactory system, the organ of taste over here, the tongue will be there with the taste buds. So all these special senses are well protected by cranium. Provides opening for the passage of the food and the air. It accommodates the teeth and helps in chewing or the mastication process.